If you're anything like me and you're always in your head and you always want to do things, but then when it's actually time to do it, you're like, where do I start? Don't force anything. If it's not working, turn off the camera. If you just don't feel inspired to create something, put it to the side. Don't force it. Trigger it. Trigger that flow. Trigger that authentic way of creating, so that when you look back at the video, so when you look back at what you created in whatever era or industry that you're in, you can be proud of it because you knew you did it with pure, genuine intentions and you were not just forcing it so you can put something out. So the first way I trigger my flow state instead of forcing it is by talking to myself. I know you talk to yourself too. Don't judge me, okay? I love to talk to myself, and I usually do it while I'm driving. I live in the South now. Well, I'm back in the South, so there's nothing but highways and byways and long trips to the grocery store and to wherever I'm at. So in those moments, those 20-minute drives, I literally look at the sky and look at what's around me, and while the music is playing, I always end up just pausing it and just like really talking to myself, like, okay, Katrina, what are we doing now? Or I end up talking to God. If you watch my vlogs, you can see me having conversations with myself and just recording it. Like, and it's so crazy. You could be looking for the answers, you could be looking for inspiration, and you just talking to yourself and expressing how you feel in real time. Somewhere around that conversation with yourself, you get to the answer. That higher power, God, yourself, just all, I can't even explain it, and I'm sure there's a science behind it, but you really just talking to yourself and fleshing out your ideas vocally, like literally saying the words that's in your head, gives you the answers yourself. If you look at my vlogs, you see me having an issue or feeling flustered or feeling anxious about something, and by the time I get 20 minutes into the conversation, I already have the answers. I already know what my struggle was. I know what I could do to fix it. I already know, like, I already have inspiration on what I could create. It just works. And once you've done that a couple times, you realize like there's really no problems that can come my way that me, God, and a few conversations cannot fix. The second thing I do to trigger my flow state is reading. It sounds very simple. It sounds like, what are you saying, Katrina? Where are you going with this? No. Reading, literally. I just started doing this again because it was one of my 2024 goals to read a book a month. So I make a point to read a chapter per day. I don't care how fast I read it, but I just need to get that chapter through. And it's so crazy while I'm reading books because I love words. I love learning a new word and understanding it a little bit better. So I'm reading my chapter and then I come across a word that I don't understand. And then by the time I read the definition, I have a better understanding of what I'm actually reading. And then when you know what you're reading, you can relate it to what you've experienced, what you learned about before in other areas, and you can just like relate the two. So with that, it's like you're reading a book that you're actually interested in, and then you're getting an even deeper understanding of it because you understand each word that you're reading. And then it's like, okay, wait a minute. So this situation relates to what I went through there. And then, okay, so if this is connected and I use this in what I'm trying to create, then boom, boom, it's just like you're connecting the dots. All from just reading a couple words, all from just reading a couple chapters. So if you're an avid reader or you're somebody who is interested in getting back into reading, I really suggest you doing that because it sparks creativity, it sparks insight, and it's really helpful when I want to create something new or create something that I'm not used to doing or try a new method of doing things because I already learned something new. So I'm just implementing what I learned into what I'm trying to create. Just try it. The third thing that is super helpful to triggering creativity is listening to positive audio. And that could include music, podcasts, high frequency sounds, just like positive things. You can be learning a new subject, or you can just be listening to something that's super positive, super like invigorating, making you excited about life. Or you could just be vibing out to some meditation or some sounds or some music that gets you in like a good vibe, a good, just feeling. And if you've noticed, feelings trigger actions. If you want to feel motivated, if you want to feel inspired, if you want to feel creative, you have to trigger that emotion. So listening to that podcast that talks about some random person who was able to make lemons turn into a multi-million-dollar company, or someone who's able to take their dark situation and turn it into something that's very, high vibrational, inspirational, that's gonna make you feel excited, and it's gonna spark that creativity. It might not give you the exact ideas that's going to be tangible in what you're trying to create, but it's going to make you feel excited about creating something. And once you're excited, once you have those emotions popping and sparking, that's when the creativity happens. That's when new things come through your mind. That's when you're able to be like, okay, I want to turn this clay into a vase, and I don't know how it's going to look. I don't know what color. I don't know what polish, whatever, but I'm excited. So I'm going to just start. I'm gonna just move things around. But it sparked from listening to something positive, something inspirational. Something as simple as listening to certain audio can create something so beautiful. It's a chain reaction. Try it. I'm letting you know. These are the keys, these are the gems. I use it on a daily basis. The fourth way on how I trigger my creativity, and it's a little weird one, but not really. I talk to my sisters. I have an older sister, I have a younger sister, and I actually have 2 other sisters, but I'm close with those 2 that I'm talking about, right? So usually when I talk to my older sister, we're talking about something that's like very aspirational or inspirational, or it's just something that gets me like hype about like creating something. Like we start talking about our goals and what we want to do, and because we're both creative people and I've seen what my sister has created and what I've created, and we just flowing ideas back and forth, that little brainstorming session and that little just like mentioning of what we've learned and what we've seen, that just gets me super hyped. So maybe it's not your sister that you're talking to, maybe it's a friend, maybe somebody that you just admire, or you just have a certain flow with them. Having those conversations really spark creativity. It makes you feel invincible. Same thing with my younger sister. We don't literally talk about business or creating anything, but it's kind of therapeutic to talk to her because we're talking about experiences. We're talking about things that's going on in life. We're talking about just like our emotions, and I'm able to like express myself in a way that I don't feel as comfortable expressing with a lot of people, because they're very vulnerable situations and very real life situations. So that therapy, that just like release of pain and hurt just gives me like the space, the confidence, the freedom to just like be free, because like I let go of the pain. And it's not like I'm dumping on her. She's talking about her experiences, I'm talking about my experiences, and because they're so similar, it's like we feel free, not judged. And it's just, it invites so much creativity once I get off the phone with her. And we don't talk every day, but when we talk, it's like for 4 or 5 hours, and then I just feel renewed. I feel like a different person. I just feel like, okay, I let that burden go so I can create more. So you need to have people in your life where you can have conversations. It doesn't have to be about the things that you're trying to create, like I mentioned, but being able to just have those conversations, those freeing conversations, those just like therapeutic conversations, it sparks a certain creativity that you just got to do it to understand. The 5th one, meditation. And again, if you've looked at my vlogs before, you've seen me like staring at the sky and just being like in awe. Like right now I'm sitting in front of my window, and I'm so blessed to even be here because my apartment has big, beautiful windows, and I could just look at the sky at all times. And that's how I meditate. I don't do the traditional or do any weirdness or whatever. I'm still getting into like meditation and breath work and things like that, but just doing what I know best and just admiring God's work and just looking at just like how amazing it is. It gives me such a gratitude and understanding that literally this life is unimaginable. Like as much as we want to be grounded and we're looking straight and we're seeing things that's happening and the doomsday and da. When I look up in the sky, nothing that's happening in real life matters. Nothing that no boundary, no constraint, no fear is real, because this is not real. That is the sky, the clouds, the beauty, the vastness, the abundance. That is not real to me. If this is a part of what we call life, this so scary doomsday you know, realistic life, if this is a part of it, then I want to be up there. I want to resonate with what the sky got going on, because it's, I don't know, I hope I'm not sounding crazy right now, but it just helps me see that nothing, my real world problems, my real world fears is not real. It's nothing to even stop you, because if I look up in the sky and that's a real thing, and that's a part of this thing called life, that means whatever menial ideas or menial accomplishments that I want to do, it can happen. If that's real, then something that can actually be tangible, it can easily happen, because that's real. You just have to get it to get it. I'm trying to voice how I think, and it may not be as clear, but if you get it, you get it. I meditate and I just stare at the sky, and it just gives me such a hope, a gratitude, such a knowing that abundance is everywhere and I lack nothing. I can do all things, and it strengthens me. It not only gives me creativity, but it strengthens me, and it motivates me and inspires me to do whatever the frick I want to do. So if you're anything like me and you can appreciate the sky and appreciate nature, I definitely think you should meditate and just focus on just the sky, and it'll spark so many positive ideas in your brain, and it could create some really good things from it. Even if it's not tangible, it can just be a positive mindset, and that's worth more than money and gold. Okay, so the last one, which is a super new one, but it's something that I'm implementing into my life to just like take care of me, to love up on me, and that's soaking in the bath. And you're probably wondering, like, how is soaking in the bath gonna help me overcome my creative blocks? Well, hear me out. I believe, at least, that when you love on yourself and you give yourself grace and you just like appreciate yourself, you take the tension off yourself. A lot of the reasons why we have these blocks and this tension is because we feel so like, we know we have to create, we know we have to be consistent, we know we have to, you know, produce, and we just like, we nail ourselves down. We're like our worst critic. It's like, baby, love on yourself. Give yourself grace. Okay, maybe you don't have the ideas right now, but if you just take a breather, take some rest, go lay in the bath, take your herbs out, sprinkle it in the water, put your oils in there, and just relax. Just relax and let the ideas flow to yourself. Let the thoughts and the burdens that you're carrying, or the deadlines that you're holding yourself up to produce and be creative, like, let that all flow out. And then by the time you get out the water and you're all clean and nice, and your body's all loved up on because you were just soaking in a bath, I bet you, even talking about it, come on now, I bet you'll feel more like positive and more at ease, and then you'll be more like graceful for yourself to like take it one step at a time and create as it comes to you. It's gonna come when it's supposed to come, and a way to trigger that is to just give yourself grace. Take some time out to give yourself some self-care, to love up on your skin, to love up on your body, to love up on your mind. And I'm telling you, that bath would do it for you. That bath would do it for you. And I'm so excited because my last 2 apartments had showers, and now I have a bath, and I can do this all the time. I can do this all the time. And loving on yourself is a great way to just show yourself like, there's no timelines. There's no person that got the whistle and is waiting for you to fit. No, take it easy on yourself, and everything's gonna happen when it's supposed to happen. Those ideas are gonna come to you when it's supposed to. That creativity is gonna be sparked when it's supposed to. So those are the 6 things that I do to trigger my flow state, not force it. And if you're anything like me, somebody in their creative era who's gonna be taking on 2024 by force, matter of fact, not by force, by grace, you should definitely do those things because it's super helpful. I've accumulated these tactics over years, okay? And I've been avidly doing all of that, and I've seen a tremendous like difference in my output and how I show up and how I feel about myself, because I'm not forcing it, I'm letting everything flow. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and let me know how you trigger your flow state and not force it. Bye. Juicy. Shh. Please move. move over, please. Thank you. Move over, please. Sorry, but you have to move over. Thank you. Please just relax. Thank you. To be what I want to. You have to be kidding me. What are you doing? Oh my gosh. You gotta get out. You gotta get out. Get out. It's time to go. Bye. See you later. Thank you. You're done. You're done. My freaking goodness. Should I record this one again?